Hello, welcome back to the Stellar Garage. I'm Duke Skyloafer. We're going to be working on building this shuttlecraft here again today. Let me address the chat for a moment here. Chad, Hire, Nightbot. By the way, Nightbot, thank you for coming in literally 1 minute in and telling people to like the video. Appreciate your enthusiasm. First off, what do you mean I don't die enough? I'm not even sure how to take that. I'm not sure how to take that. I might just go do something about that. Anyway, in a algorithm-friendly manner. Hello, Rumblestrip. Welcome. It's good to see you all. It's been a day, huh? All these people getting their videos out about the new update. I just finished watching Iron Engineered Coffee's video. I had started it earlier when it first came out and finally got a chance to finish it. Started watching kind of Joshi's. I watched Zero's Legion. I think I watched a couple of other short ones. There's just so many videos out there. Like, we're going to be eating good. I guess pun intended. I didn't mean for that to be a pun, but now I do. I'm going back and saying that's a pun. We're going to be eating good next week, you guys, when that update comes out. I am so excited about this. I am planning so many things on Designated Survivors. I had already decided that part of one of the rooms was going to be like the farming room, but now that I know about all of the ways that you can harvest things and everything, and I got so many ideas, and then the hazards and yeah, I got to decide what exactly we're turning on and when, because in that series I'm up in an asteroid and I don't have ready access to any of the food, so I might leave the food off until we can probably build this ship and then go down to the planet and get stuff. But oh yeah, I saw the Kilted Bastards one in Marcus's playlist. If you guys want to see all the videos, if you hadn't seen them all, or like seen the list of all of them, Marcus Retaken on my Discord, he put together, it's probably in Ira's Discord too, but he posted it in my Discord, which I am advertising for myself right now. The YouTube playlist that he put together that has all the videos in it, and that was one of them. There was another one I was just watching about all of the hazards, and I don't remember who it was from, but I don't think it was in Marcus's list, so I'm going to have to maybe ping him about that, or just double check the list. Either way, there's a ton of them out there. I do like that Keen is, instead of making just like one video or a couple of teasers like they used to, like I love Keen's teasers, but I really like the idea of just getting it out there to a bunch of YouTubers and letting them play around with it and show us like how it really is, because I kind of trust you guys not to sugarcoat everything, you know, and just show me the good parts. So anyway, very excited about this. I cannot wait. I got to figure out how to re-steer Designated Survivors so that we are in a position to take advantage of this content as soon as possible. But that's not what we're here for today. Today we are here to talk about finishing this shuttle, which, by the way, I've come up with a name for it because you all have failed to give me a name. You failed. You failed me for the last time. This is based on the Raptor from Battlestar Galactica. So I've decided to name it after the creature that in Jurassic Park the raptors actually were, because they weren't velociraptors. Velociraptors are really small. I've decided to name them after the actual creature that velociraptors were in those movies, which is a Deinonychus. So this is going to be the Deinonychus shuttle. Good luck spelling it. When I was 8 years old, I studied to be a paleontologist, so I'm quite good at spelling it. But, yes. Oh, Ira's dropping hints. Monday, maybe. Maybe a survival guide. Could be. Could be not. You never know. Could be, though. So anyway, I'm looking at this block right here while I'm talking, and boy, that's really bugging me. But luckily, this is actually the ship we're going to be working on. At the end of the stream, I built this little winglet thing here sticking down, and immediately after I ended the stream I was like, I don't like that at all. So the next day off stream I copied the ship and started making a new one, and I've landed on this thing, which I like a lot better. I was going to try and get some of the beam blocks in there, but it didn't actually look right. It didn't look good when I did that. So this is how it looks. It'll probably look a little bit better when it's painted. But yeah, I like that. I'm going with that. Boy, yeah, actually decoys might not be a bad idea. We do have room to embed things. Oh, I did put some beam blocks in the back there. Yeah, we could put a decoy like behind it or something. But anyway, so the other thing that I changed, and I guess I didn't have mirror mode on, so this thing right here, this little flat spot, on the other side, I changed it to these windows. I guess I'm going to have to do that on both sides, just to give it a little extra something. Now, the plan for today, let me change this real quick here. So that goes away, that goes away, that goes like that, and then where's those windows? Yeah, there. Oh, up. Okay. There we go. So the plan for today is going to be to finish up the bottom, because the bottom's looking a little unfinished at the moment. And then we need to load it up with some stuff and take it to a planet and see if this amount of downward thrust is enough to lift it. I'm kind of thinking no, but if that's enough to get it to hover, we're probably okay. And if this is enough, like if I point it up and go with that, then we might be good. But I'm thinking that maybe not. So I would hate for there to not be enough fuel too. But I'm planning to run this thing manually, so you know I'll be able to pulse the thing. So let me. Oh, and then one other thing. So because of the we have to put lights on it too. You notice that I have my headlights on my suit, and we got to put lights on this thing so that I can see what it's doing. Lost my train of thought. With the new hazards, to get away from like a radiation storm, you need to go into an airtight space. And we had originally said this area would not, even though it is airtight, we wouldn't pressurize it. And now I'm thinking we should have the option to pressurize it, just because of going to certain planets like the alien planet where there might be radiation storms. We may want to run back to the ship and pressurize it, close the doors, wait out the storm, something like that. So we're not going to have an oxygen tank on it, because I don't have anywhere to put one. And we do have a O2H2 generator. But what I think I am going to do is try to find a place where I can stick a vent on the outside and then just a vent on the inside. And if we're on the alien planet, we'll be able to pressurize the inside from the outside. And that'll be that. So, so many opportunities for things with this update. I'm very excited. Good luck, Rumblestrip, on your miner. Okay, so what should we do first? Should we finish the bottom and then do the lights? Let's do that. I'm thinking I could even put the vent like on the bottom, like next to one of these things or something. Because I don't know, the other good place might be, I guess I'm doing the vent first. The other good place might be like right here in front of the. Oh, where's the bits? The important bits are on the side, aren't they? The conveyors. Where? How is this thing conveyored up? Oh, it's sitting on top of the cargo. That's right. Where would we put? Well, I could put one on the. I could put them on the side. Actually, I might do two of them just because if we are. Yeah, let me get my mirror back on here. And we're going to ignore that one over there. I need a vent. I need to vent for a minute. Let's do the old style, because I think that's going to look better with this. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to do two of them because if we're pressurizing from like a thin atmosphere, like... yeah. If we're pressurizing from a thin atmosphere like the alien planet, probably going to want two of them just to be able to pressurize the inside a little bit better. And then, when we're leaving, we can pressurize the... Now, if we go to, like, Mars, If we go to Mars, I don't know if there's atmospheric hazards on Mars. I don't remember. Yeah, actually, after I placed these, I realized, like, oh yeah, they're the old style with the cut corners and everything. Very Battlestar Galactica-esque, you know how their paper was on that show. But yeah, I like that vent look, like the Venetian blind look for it, as opposed to the spinny vent for the outside surface. Which one of these is the... Here we go. Give me the ball. Give me the thing there. But yeah, you're right. The block does not square up nearly as well. And I don't think that looks terrible, now that I got that in there. I think that looks okay. I think that looks okay. Yeah, I do wish they would go back and update the shapes of some of the older blocks. It's like, it's almost like that's what makes the DLC important, is because you get the newer blocks that don't look bad. You know, like some of them, like this one is okay in certain situations. Like, it fits equally as well as this one because they're both kind of cut on the corners and everything and kind of chunky, but, you know, like, some of them just fit so much nicer. The DLC blocks fit so much nicer than the regular ones, just because they're newer and presumably design aesthetics have changed. What am I going to do in here? Where can I pull? Where have I got... I guess I could turn one of these into a... Do I have... Well, let's see, I could run a conveyor from there to here. And then have it on the floor. I guess that's not a bad idea. Let's do that. We'll just do a... If I can sneak it back in there. If I could... Let's go this way. Isn't it weird, the things that we will put up with versus what's like, that's fine. You know, I'm very particular about certain things, and other times I'm just like, you know what, it's fine as long as I don't really look at it. Which way is the top? The lights are on the top, right? Does it matter? I can't see the lights. So we're going to do it this way, even if it's upside down. That way I can see the lights. Yeah, then let's put the wall back in. I actually think I might angle these in. Let's take these out. Put all this back in. Alright, should we, instead of just cutting corners on that, should we do maybe something like this and have it also... Boy, that green is annoying. Something like that. Yeah, and then it's not so... I don't know. I think I kind of liked it better when it was more stark. Which was... just this block. Yeah, no, I think I like that better. Yeah. Unless, hello, EC, how you doing? We are building in the dark, because I have not put the lights on the ship yet. We could, okay, you know what, I'm gonna hate myself for doing this, but we could maybe kinda shape this whole thing in. I'm wasting so much time on this. I'm gonna waste all the time. That's not the right thing. What's the right thing? It is this one. And then what if we did... Yep. How bad is this gonna look? It's definitely worse. It's definitely worse. That covers up more than I wanted. Covers up more than I wanted. We could alternatively do... where's the side that matches this? No, it's not going to do anything. You know what? I don't want to waste the time. I liked it how it was. There. Alright. Good. Maybe we'll hang a little poster on the wall later that says, like, you know, I don't know, like, keep your chin up or something like that. Alright, now, what was I trying to accomplish here with this? Clearly this is supposed to be this. But to match the other side, it should be this. Which would mean we'd have to take that out and put in that. Yeah. Okay. Crisis averted. We're good there. Are there motivational posters on the workshop? You know, that I could just install? I'm putting the lights on. I'm putting the lights on now because I can't see anything. Let's do one of these right on the front there. Let's put some little spotlights, like headlights right there. And then if I do some floodlights, corner R, I don't know which corner these are supposed to go. Corner L. If I did some floodlights, they're not really going to hit, they're not really going to point at the ground very well. I do like having floodlights on things, but I think I'm just going to do just regular lights all around. Let's do maybe some corner lights. Maybe we'll do corner lights near the door. Splitsy has one? Okay, good. I might borrow it. Let's, for the sake of symmetry, let's put one there as well. Then, what can we put? Can we get anything? I don't think I can get anything over here unless I put it on top of the turret. Maybe I should have considered. Well, I could put one underneath. I could definitely put one behind it. Like that. Maybe we'll put it... Let's put it there. Yeah, that's a good call, Chad. I think I'm going to do that. And I might do the same. I might do it on top as well. Put one, like, right there. And let's see. We need one in the back. Let's just do one of these. Like right there. And then perhaps right there as well, so that's shining right in my face when I'm looking in the door. And where else might be good? We've got this nice big space right here. We could maybe put a big one. Probably not necessary though with that other one there. All right, let's finish. Oh yeah, let's just do this. Let's assume that we're gonna put one like here. Like that. Like it's... I like how this light has those little lines on the one side, so it kind of looks like it's coming, like it's pulling power off that battery, you know? So that'll be good, and then maybe we could drop one in, like, right in between those two as well. And then we got plenty of light all around. And if we need to, we could drop another one into this wing here or something. Like, yeah, let's go ahead and just do it. There we go. Now we can't be accused of not having enough light. All right, let's finish shaping up this thing here, and then we'll take it to a planet and see if it's too heavy. Let's see. So, are we going to have this... Yeah, I guess the pattern is that we just continue on with what's on the top and mirror it, so that's what we're going to do. Yep, and then we'll go from there. So that one's going to have to... These are all going to have to go away. So those will be wrong. Ooh, okay. So I was planning at that point, at least when I did this part, I was planning on having a little lip there. Should we actually do that? Should we have a... Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe we could do that. Have it go... Instead of starting... Instead of starting here, we'll go one back for each one. So instead of there, we'll start it there. Instead of there, start it there. And then that'll just connect into that. So we'll take that one out. Now, can I do this with a single? I don't think I... maybe. Are we going to connect those up? Let's see. So what needs to actually be right here? What's on the top? Okay, so let me... That is indeed the inspiration, you see? You got it. Okay, so we're going to do that. Yeah, it is a... We started with a... Thinking about a Battlestar Galactica Raptor, and we didn't set out to necessarily duplicate it exactly, but it did end up getting pretty close, which is kind of cool. Oh, right. That's the reason why we had the blocks in this row, was to indicate where we need to leave space for these internal thrusters to not blow up the inside. So this row here has to be... Yeah, we're going to have to rethink that. We're going to have to rethink that. So it's got to be... We need at least 2 blocks. So this row is fine. However it ends up. If we just go... However that... Well, it wouldn't go like that, but... That row would be fine right there, and then we would need to be above it. And that's that. But this row... We might not be able to do this exactly. Like, we could start coming down. We could start angling down there. You know, it's okay if that one sticks out a little bit, that thruster, but by this block, we need to be clear of what we're doing, and I don't think we could do that, unless we just took out one thruster. Unless we just took out one thruster. Did they damage out to 3? I thought I did a test. Let's see here, hold on. Yeah, no, they only go out to 2. Well, at least according to this. That's that, and then 2 blocks in front of it. Wait, let me do the actual one that I'm using here. Is this one. Damages others, including the red cylinder. So that should be fine. I have to leave this space clear. This block is fine. Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that just then, but... Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. What? What's still blowing up? Uh-oh. Now there's like some damage somewhere in the middle of the ship. I'm gonna find it later when it's very inconvenient, I bet. Other side. Forgot about the mirror mode. Okay. Good enough. Let's never do that again. Let's see. So, if we need to keep those clear... It might actually work okay if we were to just push these forward to where they would normally be to line up with the top. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference. Let's try that and see what we get. Just put a hole in here. Alright. Upside down again. So if we were to just perfectly mirror the other side, we'd be looking at... That is not how the other side is it? It is not. Alright. That would be okay. We would have to take... We would have to do that. There. So we'd be okay. If we were to pull this back... yeah, then we wouldn't quite make it. We would be... The block right there would be... like... Because it would be... From here, it would be... yeah, it would have to be... Let's see. Let me think a second. Yeah, because we would do this, and then we would have... I guess we could still do it right there in the very front. And then it would correct itself, essentially, after a little bit. Yeah, it might be okay. And then if the... What's on the other side? How does this work? So you do that, and then up. Okay, so if we were to push it back one, it would be... Yeah, I think we're going to leave it like that. Okay. So... Yeah, okay, so we're going to do that. And then... This, in the front, I think we will... That's it, that's already kind of... We have to... How's the opposite side looking here? Oh yeah, because we don't have a third layer on the top. That's why that's like that. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, let's just backtrack this here. That would be there. We would need... we'll figure that out. That we will figure out. We don't want that. We would want that there. That there. Figure out the rest in a minute. So if I want to... Yeah, I think actually what we'll do is not have that. And instead just connect... Oh, I know one of these exists. It's not in this group. It is a... That I know this exists. I always forget where it is. No, that's not it. That is not it. Triangle piece in the second slot. One of these. Oh, in the 5. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, it's actually going to be that one. There we go. Thank you. I knew it existed. Alright, then let's figure out the rest of this. Now, do we want to continue? We already got that. Okay. Cool. Let's keep going with... How gradual of a slope do I want? Going from this layer to this layer. Yeah, I actually think we will probably... Well, okay. So that has to be clear. So we need to be papering over this here. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to end up. Looking something like that. And then I'll figure out how to merge that together there. So these 2 rows are going to be really boring, but just basically going straight across with the shape that they're supposed to be. And then I might change it up in the middle there. Let's see. Alright. So, basic shape there. So what I'm thinking we'll do is cut that there. Something like that, to kind of mirror the level above it. Is that... That does not really mirror it very well because of the... Okay. Should be able to... Ooh, actually, can I do that with the half blocks? I'm not sure that I could do that shape with half blocks. Maybe then we'll just do it over here. Like that. And then, since no one's going to look at the bottom, we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to worry about it too much. I think it's good enough because there's like 2 blocks there, 2 blocks there, and then yeah, it slopes more than here, but whatever, it's fine. All right, then do I have a... No, I don't. See, I was smart and I did not put something underneath that. We're going to have to put a full block. No, we're not going to put a full block. We're going to put this thing and then a hat. Give me the hat. Corner hat. All right. And, oh man. Okay, so this part... Yeah, we are following the pattern. We're just doing this from here on out, I think. This gets easier. And then... yeah, I guess we're just gonna... we will transition you up. And then... yep, missed one. And then how do we connect this? Yeah. Let's see, I have one block here to do this transition. I think I did it. And flat up to the edge there. Yeah, this thing just shapes itself after a while. Layers upon layers of light armor just to make atmospheric re-entry so much easier. That's sarcasm. Alright. The very end here. Still need to... you need to be gone. Wait. 1, 2, 3. You do not need to be gone. I don't know that you need to be there, but you don't need to be gone. Okay. 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 Yeah, I'm gonna let... how does this look on the other side here? Yeah, we did do that. Flush there, but... yeah, okay. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, taking bets on... is there enough thrust on the back or the bottom to go up to space? I'm guessing no, but we're going to find out. Let me... yep, I see a bitrate drop. Hopefully YouTube corrects itself there. Alright, we're going to rename this thing to... yeah, looks like it's recovering. DEI, Deinonychus. I'm going to call it Shuttle so that I have a... Deinonychus. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Hello, Dragonforge. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I did. Okay, good. Yeah, let's take a... first off, let's take a blueprint of it. Let's take a blueprint of it. Blueprint? There we go. That was weird. And then... that asteroid looks like a claw. You see that? See that back there? It's like it's pointing at something. Oh, it's saying we should go to the Earth. Okay. Sounds good to me. Let's head to the Earth. Let's jump over to the... where the go-getters hang out. Oh, it's dark up. Look at all those go-getters. Not what I wanted. Why is that not working? The heck just happened? Am I inside? Wait a second. Well, that was weird. Why am I inside out inside a planet? Okay. Let's try that one more time. Take me to the go-getter. Just teleport me here, because for some reason my... into my body, please. Thank you. There we go. There we go. My controls were weird. Let's make it daytime. A nice sunrise. There we go. Alright, maybe I should get rid of some of these go-getters, since they're not going anywhere. Or getting... alright. Blueprint. Deinonychus shuttle. Copy to clipboard. Let's put you near the ground. Okay, it can hover. That's a good sign. Maybe I should switch us to... oh, you know, I never put the landing gear on the bottom. Alright. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, when we're empty, we seem to be going up quite well. Hey, you know what I'm noticing? Who can tell me which thing I forgot to put on the ship right now? I'll give you a hint. It's the reason we're only looking in one direction. Yoink, we're gonna go underneath. I think I'm gonna end up putting some more thrusters on the bottom just to make sure, but let's carve out some space somewhere, not in front of the thrusters. Where did I have some extra space? Yes, we have some space back here, I believe. We could throw a bunch of gyros in. Look at all this space we have. Those were all good guesses. The correct answer was gyroscopes. Let's see. 4 gyroscopes or 8 gyroscopes or 6 gyroscopes? Let's put in 6 because I tend to like to turn their power down. Whoa. I tend to like to turn their power down and then use them at like half strength, and then I have that ability to crank it up if I need to, if this thing's really heavy. Speaking of really heavy, what's the densest, heaviest thing that I can fill these cargo containers with? What thing is really dense? What if we were to put in I think 6 was the correct answer because this is 6, and I think that's plenty good. It's actually kind of perfect. All right. No, I mean, like, what kind of a thing can I spawn into the cargo container to add weight? I can't put a mass block in there. I could put, I don't know, stone, steel plates, uranium, ingots, or ore. Which is going to be the heaviest? Does it really even matter? I guess realistically, let's just put in a bunch of steel parts and see what happens. Not falling yet. Let's put uranium ingots into this one, or sorry, yeah, ingots. Uranium ingots. Okay. Now we're struggling. Now we're struggling. In fact, we're going to make a bit of a landing here. A bit of a hard landing, it seems. Alright. Very good. Very good. Let's, maybe I should have blueprinted it after I put the, oops, Deinonychus, after I put those gyroscopes in. And we're not going to work so close to the... We're not going to work so close to the sky this time. I think this is roughly where I put them. Uh-oh. That one is sitting on top of something. There we go. Okay. Let me take a blueprint from way up here. Let's just delete you. I don't think we need you sitting around anymore. Yep, okay. Yeah, let's throw on... I don't plan on having like a, 2 full cargo containers of uranium, but or anything really, but I do think I do want to have as much lift as possible. What if we added just a second row right here? Oh, I guess I should have probably tried with the back. That's not going to be nearly as strong as all of these. Let's do... I think we determined these things... Wait, what did we determine? These... Oh, we determined the small conveyor junctions were lighter than the armored conveyors, right? But not necessarily lighter than these things. These have a weight of... Hold on, I'll find it. Let's see, that's power, grind, integrity, 35 kilograms. Whereas these things are 180. Okay, so yeah, definitely just going to go like that. We're going to add basically 5 on each side. Nope, there we go. There we go. Put you back in. I think that looks good. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Let's move closer. Actually, you know what? I should put the landing gear on. This is it's gonna be difficult to land this thing on any kind of surface because it's gonna burn the surface. But let's put them like here and there. That'll work. So this thing's generally going to want to land on the ground. I guess I could put more off of this thing as well. Why do I have just like one sticking out there? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, that's the junction for the... That's the junction for the gun on the other side. So we could have actually put a row of them back here if we need to. Kind of might balance the thing out a little bit. Should we do that? Should we put a row of them here? Yeah, I think I will. Let's do that. And... junctions. Nope, that's the opposite of a thruster. Flame on. Okay. Good. Good. That I feel more confident in. Let's blueprint that. And then let's spawn some... Let's move it a little... it's fine. It's not going to pick up too... Oh, get in there. Okay. Let's do... Let's just do steel plate. Spawn into there. Spawn into there. How much does that weigh? 66,660 kilograms. That's not ominous. Okay. So there we go. We're floating. How bad are we struggling here? Not bad. I don't think we're at full thrust. So... I guess we will find out if we can go upwards. Yep. Yeah, based on our level of flame coming out the bottom, I feel like we have plenty of space for this. Maybe I should put more backwards thrust on it, a couple of small ones just to help these 2 big ones get us up to speed here. Now, you know, it's not that bad. We're fully loaded at the moment, so... Yeah. That was just a little, you know, aerial maneuver there. Hey, I'm Rock. Welcome to the stream. Alright. I think that is good. Did I blueprint those last changes? I think I did. Alright, here's what we're going to do next. Is, I need to figure out what to do with these, steel plates. Okay, we slow down very slowly when we're fully loaded here. How do I eject a bunch of steel plates now? I didn't think that part through. Did I? I didn't blueprint this. No, yeah. Okay. Let's grab another copy without... There we go. Without all the stuff in it. Yeah, okay. And we will just get rid of you. This one should be empty now. Yes, okay, good. Why do I still have a bunch of ammo and stuff on me from when I was doing the other thing? Alright. Let's see. What's going to be the next thing that we do? We need a better paint job. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I'm going to bring it close to the ground for a second. Hopefully not smash it into the ground. Down we go. Perfect. Yeah, okay, good. What I wanted to do was... actually, I wanted to do that from inside. Go back to the actual nighttime and then adjust the lights so that they actually are good. Ooh, searchlights. That's not a bad idea. I don't know where I would... If I had searchlights like on the wingtips, that would be really cool. Yeah, well, let me get these lights first. There, I gotta rename all this stuff. I'm not gonna bother with that today. Maybe at the very end of the stream, if you guys are good. As a treat, you can watch me rename all the stuff in the terminal. What, I already forgot what I was looking for. Lights. I am going to rename the stuff that I'm working with, though. So, since this is the Deinonychus shuttle, we're going to call it the DS. Actually, I don't want to call it that. I feel like, despite none of the ships standing for Duke Skyloafer, I do feel like I end up with a lot of ships named DS. I'm going to call it DE for Deinonychus. Corner light. Bloop. Inset light. Inset light. Offset light. DE. Offset lights. Right there we go. There's only two of these. I'm just going to copy paste. Alright, lights. I'm putting all of you in a group. And then all of you are going to get a gigantic radius. And a much lower intensity. In fact, much lower intensity. And then what color? What color? What color? Should we do like a... Well, I guess maybe we should decide on the paint job first. I do really like when a ship has like a neutral color, but then the lights give it a tint. I feel like I need another light. Oh, jeez, it's bright. Okay, there isn't even there are no lights on the inside. They're all leading through. Let's turn you off. Yeah, I feel like I might need another light on the front, like maybe right there. bonk. There we go. Alright, that's good. Now I also think maybe I need... Man, so I put them on the underside of the wing, but I feel like I need one on the outside. How am I going to do that, right? I could put one right there on the tip, like right there. Or I could put one right on that surface there. Yeah, I think that'll work. We'll do an offset light right there. There we go. Then we'll have... That gives us light pretty much all the way around. And when you take the intensity down, you don't get quite as bright of a flare on it, a lens flare. Okay, let me just adjust those two that I put in. And then we're going to talk about color schemes. Now, an actual Raptor from Battlestar Galactica was kind of like an off-white with like an off-white brownish, if I recall, with usually like some red, right? Let's just keep the lights white for now, actually. And this is the intensity that I want and the radius that I want, but everything else we'll just keep as is. Radius, good. Intensity, good. We're going to keep you like that. And then the lights just need to have these two added to it. And we can get you out of there. Okay. So, oh god, that's bright. Okay. Maybe too many lights. Maybe too many lights. Alright, should we go back up to space for painting? I think we shall. Let's blueprint you again, and then let's jump over to the Eagle 5. Where is it? There it is. I think we were parked behind it, weren't we? Ah, they're so dark now. Deinonychus Shuttle 3. Okay. So, first thing first, let's look at... I pushed P, I'm sorry. Let's look at what texture we want for this thing. We could do either like a dusty armor. Battered armor might look good for this. I don't think the plastic armor would look good. Let's make like a... almost like... almost like that color, and then maybe as an accent color. That what? Yeah, there we go. That actually did work. Maybe as an accent color, we do something like that. You know, like that's the main color, that's the accent color. Is this too dark? Maybe we do something like that as the two colors. Yeah, even though it doesn't match the color scheme of all the other stuff, I don't really care. We could do it with the blues, in the same way that the other ships are. That's another option. It doesn't have to be like a Galactica Raptor color scheme. Yeah, I think I might want to do that, just to keep with the everything is this color kind of deal. Doesn't have to be this... It does not have to be this skin, though, necessarily. I feel like I'm using the sci-fi skin a little too much. But, well, you know what, let's do it. Let's start with this. So, here's the whole... Oh, jeez. Here's the whole thing in battered this color. That's almost pink. maybe needs to be even more... There we go, that might be better. Is the battered armor the right look for the main body, though? I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like that plastic. That's not terrible. It's not terrible. What's the weldless look like? Too geometric, I think. Not ideal for this one. I'm gonna take that off for a minute. Don't let me forget to put that back on before I start painting. Carbon fiber? What if we did the... Where's the dusty one? That does give it the kind of brown we were looking for. Mixed in. I don't know, is that too... It almost looks too busy on the small grid. I kind of like dusty more on the large grid. So the problem with building in sci-fi is that then I get attached to what sci-fi looks like. What about, let's see, corrugated, that's not gonna be good. Heavy rust, that's the one. No, it's not. Not silver. Not... Oh, definitely not rusty, that's way too much. Clean's not gonna be it, right? I get really bored of the original texture because I saw it so much for so long. Let's see, on the miner and stuff we use digital camouflage a lot. What if we did digital camouflage again? And then maybe did the accents in a different texture and color. That might work. Should it be darker? Maybe? I think that might make it look better. Darker, and then we'll do the darker red-brown for the accent color. That could work. That could work. Can we get away with being a little bit more saturated with this? No, actually. What if we shifted a little more toward the... No, it's too far. Get out of there. It's because I keep pointing at the door while holding shift. That might be okay. Or, actually, you know what might be better? Let's, is it 1.7? Let's stick with what we started with. Did that actually change? You didn't change. You never change. There we go. Let's stick with what we started with. That didn't look like it changed at all. I guess it did. And we can use the, oh, you know what? That's what it was. I had the saturation down before. We'll go with this very, very light red. We'll say 5%. Very, very light red. And then we'll use the lights to give it a little more of a reddish tint. I think that'll be good. So then we'll use this kind of like darker... Let's see, I kind of want saturation down. Like I want it to be a deep red, but not like a cartoony deep red. Maybe like that. And what if we did it in... See, we could do that in the weldless, or maybe in the... No, I don't want to do that in the dusty. Golden armor, that could be the winner. Glitter, I know Chad really wants glitter. Camouflage does not look good. Maybe we'll do that in the battered, or carbon fiber. I guess first off I gotta figure out where I even want to put this. Oh, you know, we didn't try it with War-Torn. Hang on a second. Let me just try it. I don't think I'm gonna like this, but okay. That was giving me like a You know what? Hang on a second. We're gonna do. Oh, this place needs a cleaning. We're going to. Oh boy, rotating is. There we go. Got it. Got to jiggle it a little. There we go. All right. This way, I got the sun on me and I can see what I'm doing. All right, that helps. That helps. Actually, this side helps even more. Yeah, I don't think I like the War-Torn. It's a little too much. The War-Torn feels like it's telling a story that doesn't need to be told, basically. I want to see the battered again. I don't know, I kind of like the battered look. Battered or digital camouflage? What do you guys think? Maybe we do battered for the base, and we could do digital camouflage for the accent. That might actually look okay. That might look cool. Amarok says digital. Let's go back and see. That's the digital camouflage. You know, I gotta say, I am actually thinking that the battered looks better. This looks too busy now. Oh, that's a tough call, though. That's a tough call. This did not look good to me before, but now I feel like it's just enough detail. Rumble Strip's saying darker green instead of like the brownish red. I think I'm going to stick with the colors we got here. Okay, so Rumble Strip's vote is battered. The consensus seems to be digital camouflage for the body and battered for the fish sticks, or for the accent, I mean. So let's just start with where is it? There we go. It's probably one away in the opposite direction. All right. So where do we want to do this? Probably a racing stripe straight up the nose. We'll definitely do the wings. We'll do something on the wings. I kind of want to do... let's turn that back on. I kind of want to see if I could just do, like, this row right here. Going into there, including, like, that and... Oh, look at that. I didn't put that block back. That was from behind the wall there. Alright, so something like that. Just that little bit there. Then we could do the racing stripe up the nose. That might look weird on the inside, but that's okay. We'll figure it out later. Including the light. Up to there. Should it be... Let's see, that's a solid piece right there, right? So that's going to put a line through the inside. Some weird lines on the inside. We could make the whole ceiling on the inside red, actually. I don't think that would have any will that have ill effect on the outside? I don't think so. Let's see what happens if we just make the whole inside ceiling. I think there's going to be some weirdness on the very front. And if we just did that, what does that look like? And we might end up changing just a little bit on the front. Let's see, that gives us that thing, and actually, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. We could maybe just do that and just do that whole middle section there. I kind of like that, how it switches back to that right there. That's a cool transition. Should these corners in the front also be red or not? I was originally thinking no, to kind of try to distinguish them. What about that bit sticking out there? We could maybe kind of give that a reason to be sticking out. Does that change anything on the inside? I don't think it does. I don't think you can see any of that. Oh, you can see it right there. Do I care, though? Not really. I don't like that. Don't like that. How easy is it to switch back? I'll just do it here. Doot. There we go. That was easy. Back to this. Alright. I think that's okay. I don't mind having that like that. Actually, what's the... in the door. There we go. I don't think it matters. That block behind there. I want to keep most of that as is. I think that's fine. You can't even see that block unless you get, you know, turn your head real far. What's the block below it covered by? It's covered by that. It's like we could also do that. I don't think that changes literally up. That's... Really? That's that one? Oh, I guess it is, yeah. Oh, I'm surprised that's airtight. Well, I guess we will do this then. Oop, there we go. Back out into space. Okay, I'm digging that. I'm digging that. We could also do maybe these things that are holding the guns in place. I might do a third color for the functional blocks, like maybe for the tanks and the turrets. Because they only get a little bit of skin on them. But maybe something darker for them. Alright, now here we could go something like that, perhaps. Or should it be the opposite? Leave the wings as they are and make the things holding them in place red. I wish I could do just this half flat block and not this corner, but unfortunately this is all a single block, so can't get that. Kind of thinking maybe it should be the opposite of this, and we do this in battered and leave these in yeah, I think that looks better. And it's not too much, you know. Alright, what other fun things could we do? What do you mean the stripes go up to the turrets? Oh, have this continue on under there? What does that look like? Let's see. If we went like that. Yeah, that looks cool. That looks cool, and we could have it continue on into the base of the ship here if we wanted to. Oh, well, and now that's that color. I don't hate that, but we'll look at that later. Then underneath, I guess we will do the same kind of pattern, maybe just to there. You know, like that. Armor around... Oh, hang on. What? Let me... Oh, You know how sometimes I put my fingers on the wrong keys. I'm thinking I'm going to mirror that stripe just right there. And then... Man, I was thinking maybe these things that are covering the port, but I'm going to leave them. I'm going to leave them. Maybe it depends on what we eventually color those as. You know what I'm thinking? Is maybe not the entire... Oh. I missed some blocks. I was going to say not the entire thing, but we could maybe do a stripe. How would that look? If we did a stripe from like there straight down the back, and then just the center sections, maybe? You know, like do that. Do that. Oh, there we go. Or should it be the entire enclosure? Yeah, actually the entire enclosure looks good. We'll do that. I didn't just hit that thruster, did I? If I did, it looks okay. Yeah, we'll hit that thing back there. I don't think the... Yeah, let's do the whole thruster. Then it looks like it fits in. Let me put in these blocks that are missing here. There we go. It was weird that I missed that. Alright, then let's go back to maybe doing this all the way across to there. Continue that one stripe. Let's do this thing as well, whatever this is. Let's do that thing. Should we do... Let's see. We're already doing that. Let's do that as well. And this as well. Alright, what color should we make the functional blocks? Should we just do like a darker... maybe we'll do a very... like a solid looking texture. Like we could either do weldless or... So actually, what would plastic look like if we did it with... let's see. I'm gonna copy that to there and bring down... Basically do this almost the same as this, but darker. Like this. And then if we did that, what was the... This, oh, I was going to try the plastic one. Maybe even darker than that, actually. I might make these side things red. These little side things. I think that's going to look better. Let's... What do you think of that? You're thinking like a dirty yellow? We kind of move this toward the yellow and add a little bit more. That's going to make it like a brownish. Something like that. Maybe those are the things that should be... What does Dusty look like with that. It gets a little bit brighter. We could darken it a little, but maybe that's how that should be, is the dusty color. Let's bring everything down a little bit. I guess the dusty part is what's actually adding most of the color, isn't it? We crank all the saturation, all the saturation down, we still get that dusty color. I'm not sure that I like that. I think that kind of clashes with the red a little bit. So if we went back to, like, let's keep it unbattered, because I think that gives a decent texture, but maybe we'll give it... that is not... Something like that. I keep hitting that one. Yeah, I'm going to stick with battered on it because it does give it that kind of scuffed up look, but not terribly scuffed up. I think I am going to switch back to the red instead of the brown color scheme. Yeah, maybe not. I actually kind of like it now that I'm looking at it. Maybe it just needs to be even more brown. I don't think that's necessarily terrible. Maybe darker, though. How does it look when it gets darker? It just looks more gray. Yeah, I think the gray looks... I think the gray looks better. I don't mind having a little bit of a brown tint to it, but I think the dark gray ultimately looks better. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. Yeah, I like that. Let me go back to this. What does this look like if we make these all this color? I think that looks good. Those are less obvious then. Okay, alright. Alright, okay, alright. Let's look at our brownish color here for... There we go. For the inside, we could hit that and that, not that you could really see it. Let's make our seats that color. And actually, maybe I think I'm going to make the windows. Let's see, how bad is that going to look if we start making the windows darker? I think it's going to look better because we won't see the grid as much. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. I think I got to get these side ones, though. I didn't get the front. I did get that. Yeah, okay. Good, so we'll do that. We could... I was going to say we could get all of the thrusters, but I don't really care. I think this is all good. What else? Oh, let's hit our... doors and our thing there. Let's hit these external conveyors as well. I think the rest of this looks pretty good. I'm going to leave the thrusters red to kind of match with this whole thing. But not these thrusters. No. Not those thrusters. See, should we hit these fans or no? I'm going to leave the fans as they are. Well, hang on. I'm going to fix this light now. There we go. And the light, however, should be this color. Yeah, if we paint the door, then we also paint this entire wall. Let's try it and see what it looks like. If we use the darker color on the doors. And it kind of goes behind that thing a little bit. Yeah, it looks kind of... Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm going to keep the doors as they were. I think that might be... Should we paint something on the more on the bottom here? I don't have a whole lot of red on the bottom, but also I don't really care as much about the bottom. I don't want to put like a big stripe from, you know, all the way across. Yeah, I guess we could just do like one little stripe, never hurt anybody, you know. Where would we put it? I could fill in maybe around these put some letters on the bottom so that people getting crushed by it know what they're getting crushed by. Deinonyc. DeinYchus. Yeah, we could DeinYchus. It's an even number of letters in the name. We could spell out "run for your life" underneath it. Yeah, I'm not going to put any letters on. You know, I didn't test when we were on the planet. How easy is it to, like, hop up onto here? You know? Oh, you know what? That was the other thing we were going to do. We were going to adjust the lighting to give it a little bit more of a tint. Unable to park. That wasn't the button I wanted to push. Lights. Lights plus U, save. Off. Alright, and unfortunately I put the spotlights in that group, so... Alright, I may take the intensity down even more. Just because it's so bright on the inside, there's enough lights to light up the outside pretty well. But let's say if we were gonna do more of a yellowish, orangish color on it. You know, there's a mod that adds a block that you put this block on the ship and then you can replace, like, all of the blocks that are a certain color, you can replace that color with another color. That might have been something good to put on. We could, you know, like, once we marked out the pattern we wanted, we could swap the colors out. Might have been good. 200. No, I think that's going to be too... Did I just turn all the lights off? They are barely bright now. Which is unfortunate, because it's so bright on the inside. What if we just make them... just a little bit... maybe like that. I wish I could see more of the ship. Yeah, actually that's not bad. It's pretty bright. Still pretty bright in here. And now it's very bright and yellow. Feels like that's going to hurt your eyes. What if we did it in the opposite direction? Just for fun. What if we made everything a little bit more blue? Like, what if we did blue lights to kind of offset the... Yeah, we took the red down a little bit in the lights. Like that. Oh, I kind of like that. It actually kind of makes the red pop a little bit more. Because it downplays the rest. Oh, I like that. Guys, I think we got a winner here. I think we got a winner. Winner, winner, Deinonychus dinner. Yep. That's good. How? Let me blueprint this thing. Blueprint. My blueprint thumbnails are always really far away. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should make these things the dark color as well. Yeah. Yeah, you know what that means. New blueprint. Blueprint. There we go. Alright, did we miss anything? Did we miss anything? I want to see how well it docks on top of the Eagle 5. I suspect it doesn't dock well at all, which is unfortunate. But I think we said if we couldn't get it to dock on top, we would just dock... Oh, the building arm is still on there. I'll take that out. Yeah, if we couldn't get it to dock on top, then we would just put it on one of the docking ports on the bottom. We're going to have this thing built way before we have the Eagle 5 built in Designated Survivors, if we ever get around to actually building it. But let me get rid of that construction arm that's on there. Oh yeah, it's way too wide. It's way too wide to be on there. There we go. Searchlight or some sort of headlights lighting up ahead of you. Yeah, there's spotlights on the front. There's 2 spotlights right there. Did I make them dim or not? I didn't mean to make them dim if I did. Spotlight. Yeah, no, they actually crank up their intensity. Yeah, there's spotlights on the front. They're not great. We could build some... We could maybe build some floodlights onto the bottom side somewhere. At this point, I think it ruins the aesthetic. But, let's see. Do we fit? Nope. Just barely don't fit. Stupid turrets. Well, in that case, the... Ooh, that was fast. A lot of downward thrust for some reason. Then what we shall do is, when we need to, since we're in space and directions don't matter, we will just use one of the random docking ports that's on the bottom and dock up to that and burn a hole in the bottom of the ship, apparently. Yeah, you know what, actually... Chad, you bring up a good point that was just running through my head as well, as I was saying, that we would be burning a hole in the bottom of the ship by trying to connect. Maybe we should raise that connector up so that it doesn't have to burn the thing. I'm not going to do that now because the Eagle 5 is basically done, quote-unquote. But if we build it in survival, we can easily modify that spot to have a raised connector there, and then we could just dock this thing on top and that would be fine. It could also just dock on the bottom. We could also do any of that. But I think this thing is functionally complete. And I do love that when you're moving side to side and everything, all those interior thrusters are just lighting up the night sky. Just like I wanted. Alright. That was a joke. He hates interior thrusters, and I am ambivalent. Ambivalent? Is that the word? I don't care. Let's see. What are we going to do with these screens? Do I care what's on these screens or not? I was going to put... Oh, you know what? We should... Let's see if I could sneak in here with this color and get that. And can I get... I want to get the one that's like just right in the front there. I don't know if I can actually... Oh yeah, right there. That's the one. Okay. Wait, is that the one? Or is it... No, that one's okay. That's fine. Alright. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, so we could put... We were going to put LCDs there for something, but I don't remember what we were actually going to put there. Do we need anything there? Why not? Let's put some things there. Let's make them this color. And let's do a... Does the text panel have all of them in there? Yeah, it does. Okay. Alright, let's do a... let's see, we got wide, we got the big one, we got the transparent, we got the inset. That won't work there. We got sloped, which I might do this way on the bottom there, and then we would rotate it. Let's do that, and then a... text. We'll just do a text panel right above it. Let's see, is that worth it, or should I just do 2 text panels? I mean, you know, most of the time I fly in third person anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but maybe just 2 text panels. Well, I really should have thought this through before I put this easily removable bar in here. That was easy. Yeah, I usually make the control seat colors, the screen's all black and white because it's just easier to see. Let's do that. Right here. Got 2. 2. I am looking on the wrong thing here. I don't want analog clock. What was there? Horizon? I think that's what I wanted to click. Alright, then I think the only thing left after this is to start renaming everything in the terminal. We could also start, if there's some programmable blocks we want to put on here for anything, we could start programming them. Now here's another question. I don't know what else to build in this series. I've made it through my laundry list of things I wanted to design. So, should I continue doing creative mode building? I would need an idea. I would need an idea for what to do next. And I'm going to entertain any ideas that anyone has while I start renaming everything. Which ones are on the outside? That would probably be these 2, right? Yeah. Sorry. For some reason, I had my microphone sitting right between my eyes and the keyboard, so I'm like looking down to see where my fingers are and can't see anything. All right, interior. Let me make sure that those are correct. Interior, interior. Very good. All right. Oh, that's a good idea. You know, we could put this one maybe like right there and put the weather on it, because that'll tell us what's going on outside. I don't know if we can detect radiation levels. I don't know if that will be a thing or not, so I guess we'll find out later, but we could do that. Text panel, I'm just going to call them top for now. I'm going to call them LCDs because that's really what they are. But maybe we should put the weather on one of those too. We could do weather, we could do, we could put a script on there where I could see ammo levels and cargo levels, or maybe like hydrogen levels, something like that. Disposable miner that's easily printed and cheap. a flying miner. Yeah, I got you. Let's see. I mean, we atmospheric or space? Because the Go-Getter is actually fairly cheap in atmosphere. It's expensive. The space version is expensive because it's ions. Could try doing a hydrogen one. I usually use one of the ISL miners if I'm doing if I need a cheap hydrogen one. Yeah, you can see the levels on the H2 from the outside. That is correct. I'm going to set this bottom one to be the weather. Apps. Weather. The weather is nice and clear in space today. And the top one, until I think of a better thing to do with it, I'm going to set it to... we could set it to gravity. I could do energy. I could see the hydrogen there, but I could also see it on the HUD. So, velocity. Let's do gravity, just until I think of something better to put there. Yeah. Well, if I do a script, I could do ammo and hydrogen on the same screen. You know, like it doesn't have to be one on each thing. If it's a script, I can just do whatever I want. Apparently, I did put 2 programmable blocks on. Did I put event... Oh, and 4 event controllers, so that's good. We could use those for things. As always, I'm just going to name them unused to begin with. Turn them off. Figure out what to do with them later. The exterior ones are going to be on depressurize, and I'm going to put all of them in a group so that I can turn them all off at once. I'm wondering if I should have put a hydrogen engine on this shuttle just to have a better way to recharge the batteries if we get to a planet and we don't have a good way to... I mean, the batteries will last a while. This thing doesn't have a whole lot of power-hungry blocks on it, but it might have been a good idea to have that as a backup somewhere. I don't really know where I would put it at this point. So we're going to ignore it. Alright, Gatling turret. Gatling turret. I'm going to put... They have different icons, so I can see. I'm going to put them all in one group. These will be really good for the Saberoid hunt. I do want to see them on the inventory. I'm going to cut these to 0.5 to begin with. They'll use less power. Yeah, I think one of the event controllers will be for docking. And undocking, which I could set up after we get all this other stuff fixed up. Alright, backwards, up, right, left. Where's the... Okay, there's the large ones. Yes, good. Hydrogen. Thruster S. And then... I think we will also want to grab all of the upwards ones and put them in a group by themselves as well. Let's see. Up. It's going to take me a minute. Might have been faster to select them all and then unselect the ones that aren't up. Yep, missed one. Okay. Alright, that takes care of that. Don't need to see it there. Programmable block for thruster override. I will probably just manually run the thrusters. Toolbar, terminal, inventory. Don't care. Toolbar, yes. Actually, let's just turn that off for now. Terminal, no. Toolbar, yes. Okay. Magnetic plate. Let's not use these for parking, and let's not auto-lock them. And similarly... I've taken everybody's advice and stopped my usage of the P button, especially while I'm working with the guys who are not as familiar with the perils of it. So it does make sense not to, you know, when they're inexperienced, to not put that little grenade in there, live grenade in their pockets. So cargo. What do I usually call the module? Oh, I usually just call them cargo mod. That's good enough. And then we can get rid of them there and there. These things I don't need to see at all. Nope, what happened? Okay, so you and you are gone, gone, gone. You won't see them in the... which cockpit am I in right now? I am in... Okay. So we're going to call this one... we'll just call them right and left. They can both be main. What happens when you have two control seats and neither one is main? It's just whoever gets in it first is the one who's driving, right? Which is fine with me. Toolbar config. Actually, we will, because we can use the... no, let's not do that. Don't need to see it. Wait a second. What did I just rename? Hold on. What did I just accidentally rename? I named the door. Sorry. Sorry to everybody who was just probably shouting about that. Anyway. This is a door. Let's fix that here. We're just gonna... it's door. It's just a door. Door and door. They're both on. That's fine. You... Wait. Inventory, yes. Terminal, no. Actually, do I need to see those on the inventory? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Hello, Marcus. Welcome. Better late than never, I always say. Weather LCD. Weather LCD. You got here just at the end of the good part, where I'm naming all the stuff, so I'm sorry you missed all the naming. But you can always go back and watch the VOD for the naming. Alright, that's the weather, and then the weather. Now the nice thing is we could also show, we could add more of these little screens to that wall back there. And they could just show the same thing that's being shown up here if we want. Toolbar, terminal. Oh, I was going to group those. Yeah, yeah. Batteries. There we go. It's very clean. Very demure. Okay. Yeah, it looks good. So we could add more screens in this wall if we need to, or next to them. They could just be screens all the way across if we want. I'm thinking I might add let me bring this ship closer to the... Oh, that's some good thrust. Too much thrust. Whoa, too much thrust. Back it up. Maybe I should add a button to disable, like, half the down thrusters for when we're, like, in space. Alright. Oh, you can see the colors from this thing are starting to affect the... Anyway. I wanted to jump into the Reaper for a second. Because we can use the same script from here to put these things up on the screen in the other one. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're going to actually, let me remember how this works. I'm gonna have to probably go look up the gonna have to go look up the automatic LCDs again, but where's custom data? There we go. Okay, that's how I did all that. That's fun. And you just add LCD to it. Okay. Yeah, I watched, I was saying at the very beginning, I watched a whole bunch of the videos just before my stream. I was trying to cram in as many as I could and just learning so much good stuff about what's coming. Very exciting. I'm going to add, I think, one more screen right there, and we're going to put something else on there. I think we're going to mirror what's on these two. What's on this top screen, we're going to mirror onto this. So if whether you're looking here or you're looking here, you will see. That way you don't have to. You're looking here. You don't have to walk all the way over here to see something. It's going to be the same on both sides. It's convenience. All right, so let's grab one of those programmable blocks, and we're going to change this to auto LCD. Turn it on. Oh, you know what? Man, I haven't had a drink of water this whole time. I've been talking so much. If you all wouldn't mind liking the video, if you are actually liking what you're watching right now in real life, please consider liking the video. If you would like to get notified when I go live, please consider subscribing. Thank you. I'm going to take a drink of water now. Okay. All right. I might have to, I was saying not long ago that I was running out of things to build in this series, and so I'm thinking this may be very good timing given that next week is the release of the update. Maybe it would be a good time to start a new solo survival series in SSS, maybe we won't call it that, where we just play around with the new survival stuff. Just try to be a farmer for a little while, see what happens. Since designated survivors, we might not be in a position to go and get seeds and stuff for a little bit. So we might not be turning on the food mechanic right away. So maybe that's what we'll do. Stellar Garage was not meant to be like a one and done kind of thing. It was always meant to be like a, hey, I need to build something in creative, so we're going to just do an episode of Stellar Garage. So it'll come back when I come up with something else to build. So I think that's what'll happen. So if I can get my act together by next week, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll start just some sort of a farming survival thingamajig. That's a good point, Chad. We could use an event controller to disable the extras when the gravity is low. Kind of like that. I'm glad you're here, Chad. I'm glad you're here. I've already forgotten. Automatic. Find me my blueprints, please. There we go. All right. Very good. Now we need to find the LCDs, and we're going to go with the top one. Put LCD on it, and then I think I need to set it to... No, it's good. It's already doing it. Okay. Then these two are going to be... And all these should be the same, so it shouldn't matter. Alright. Oh, whoa. Alright, now I gotta fly back over to the Carolina Reaper and see what the... Oh, you know what? This thing needs an antenna or a beacon or something. We'll shove that in there real quick. We should be able to find a spot. Alright, let's grab the ammo. Not from there, from here. Let's grab ammo first. And go back over to here. Yeah, we should be able to cram up. Should be able to cram some in. Should we make the floor a different color in here? We could paint the floor. Maybe I'll paint the floor the gray color. So it's not all the same in there. LCD. We'll start with this one. Except I don't have any of that. What is... Oh, wait, no. Gatling ammo. Oh, it's all Gatling ammo. All of it is Gatling ammo. So that'll just tell us how much Gatling ammo is left. Very simply. I might be able, since we have more room on these LCDs, I might be able to switch it back to showing the actual bar. Let's see. So then for power, all we need is power stored, because that's the only thing. That's the only thing that we have on this ship. Panel top. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that. And then I'm going to have to look up. I mean, we can make the words bigger so it's easier to see. It's not a big problem, but let me look at what were we at here. So it would look like this is what this actually kind of looks like. The color we were using here. See, if we painted the whole floor like that, is that weird? That's technically what these are, but it looks different because it's on a block. Yeah, let's go with it. Let's go with it. There we go. We won't, I don't believe, because of the layers of thickness of this thing, we won't see any of that from the outside, so that's good. Oh, there's a light poking through. Nice. Yeah. That's fine. That is fine. You can't see anything under the seats, so we are good. Okay. Alright. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up the thing for automatic LCDs. The full guide. So we can see. Pop that out, bring it over here. Alright, power stored. What was power stored X? Show the simple variant with only the percentage and no progress. Okay, I'm going to put this back over here. So if we go into, which just look slightly over there. Alright, we just get rid of the X. We should see. Give it a second. There we go. We see all the information. Now we could also increase the font size a little bit too. And it should adjust itself here. There we go. Now for the ammo. Oops. Nope. Okay. Inv list NB. That means no bar. Hold on. I believe. So if I find inv list again, I'm not going to show it on the screen. N, let's see, no numbers, no bars. To remove 0. You can use inv list to remove 0 items, lines. No, I don't want that. Oh wait, or do I want inventory if I want to see what each one is doing? Item type and quota. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to see. So maybe I just want inv list. Okay, hold on. Invis. Okay. If you don't want to display or counts, then that doesn't matter. You can also use NB for no bars to hide the progress bars. NN is no numbers. NNB is no number, no bar. NNBX is, yeah. Okay. Let's just take out that, and then I think our Gatling ammo should switch to showing the bar as well in a second when it figures it out. I think I can also, I'm going to do an echo in between. Is it going to? Oh, I guess it did figure it out. Is this because... oh, because there's no quota, so it would not have any way to know. That's fine. That's fine. I have no idea what the quota would even be. We'll just show the number. Alright, so then the next thing that I want to show is the hydrogen, which is going to be similar to power stored, but it's not power. It is not charge. We could also maybe show power usage as well. It's power summary give us displays total power output. Power used is usage of specified blocks. What does power summary do for me if I add power summary? Does it give me like a bar of something? Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Batteries, so that's power usage then. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the ammo as just a number. Just because then it's, I don't know what 100% looks like, basically, you know? So yeah, I get that that's setting it to 0, but, power, I think I'm gonna switch these like that, and then, I'm sorry, what was the... Tanks, that's what it is. Shows fullness of tanks. Type is... Okay, so... Tanks... Yeah, let's try. Tanks. All of them. Hydrogen. Now, if you dock to something through the connector, that doesn't... Why are we only at 99.3% in creative? That's weird. I put an echo between ammo and power. I'm keeping the power and the batteries grouped kinda because they're similar. I could do like, if we really want to space them out a little bit more. What happened? Whoop. Echo. I bet you that probably fits pretty well on the screen. There we go. If I connect with a connector, you can actually set the quota for the gay ammo in the script. I don't like to ask questions of the ammo. Okay? They live their life. It's fine. Right? I don't judge. You do you. Alright? I know I can set the quota. I just don't know what number I would pick, because I don't know what's the most amount of ammo I'm going to put in the ship. I could eventually figure that out and then set it to that value, and then we would get it, but I don't know what the most is. So. And it would be fine, because it would just push everything down by 1. It'd be fine, but... let's see. Oh, yeah, so my question was... since this is Star, if I connect with a connector to another ship, is it going to add that ship? I feel like this was a problem I had in the past, and I ended up manually saying, like, only the group of my hydrogen tanks on this ship. That should still pick it up fine. If they don't change, then we're good. Alright, is there anything else that I want on here? Let's see, if we could, if we shrink this back up a little bit, and I think I'm going to do this, so we're going to smush these all back together here. And then I'm going to do, oh, you know what? I should look up if these two... Okay, here, let's also do this. Group of... I think this is what I called it. Group of Gatling turrets, although I actually should double check that that's what it's called. Gatling turrets. That is, in fact, what it is called. That's why consistency is good. Just gonna double check that that is what I typed. It is. Okay. Power summary should be okay. I think power stored real quick. Let me go back up. Boy, there's just so many. This guide is huge. Where's power summary at? Power stored. I can do a grouping of that, I assume. Large reactor. Yeah, okay. So... my battery's here. And then power summary, though. Total power output 4 specified blocks. I'm just going to leave it as is. That's fine. Okay, so then the next thing that I'm just going to add to the bottom of these, if I could scroll down to this massive thing. So I want to know... okay. Altitude above sea level. Altitude C. And... gravity... natural. I don't care about the artificial gravity. How much space does that give me here? Then I can also do a calculation of stop distance and stop time. It's not a number meter, so that's good. Because we're in space, so I guess that's fine. Maybe we'll get rid of that. Yeah, maybe we'll keep it. Then we could add maybe stop distance. Now, does stop distance... yeah, it's... there we go. Could be useful when we're falling at like a top speed and I need to know at what point to turn the brakes on, basically. Maybe I'll take altitude off of there just because you can already see that on the screen. You know, just from the normal HUD. Let's take altitude off of there because it's sea level too. It's not even like the distance to the ground directly below you. What is this one? Distance to... no. I think that's probably good. We'll just do that. I mean, I could put... oh, you know what I could also do is cargo. We could just say the percent full of the cargo. Where's that at? I think I've got enough room for that. Cargo. No. Cargo. Let's see. Displays used cargo space of specified blocks. What is the difference between cargo all and cargo? Only from cargo containers. Oh yeah, okay, cool. That is what I want. The command by default writes cargo used. Ah, okay, that's fine. I probably need to group the cargo here then. What? There we go. I do not have it. There's no oxygen tank on board. There's an O2 and there's some vents. So it's going to be a matter of bring your own oxygen, basically. All right, so if I said, I think I'm going to put it under hydrogen here. Cargo, the group, cargo, and it says we can override the labels, so we'll just say cargo like this, because I don't want it to say cargo used. And let's see, it should be 0. I don't think anything's in the cargo. So there we go. I think that's what we're going to be looking at there. That's pretty good, I'd say. Then we could also grab that thing there and put it... Yeah, actually, you know what? I kind of want to put the Gatling ammo at underneath here. I don't know why, but I feel like it shouldn't necessarily be the very top thing. I don't know why, but I like having the gravity on the bottom. I don't know. Yeah, I think that looks better. I don't know why. I can't explain it. But copy that. Put it there. Put it there. Now we turn around. We see it there, and it is just barely not getting overwritten. Isn't there some way to kind of adjust that? Hang on. I thought there was some configuration you could do. You can now add spaces on the left and right sides of the LCD by adding margin. Oh, to the name of the LCD? Oh, that sucks. I'm not doing that. It's fine. You could read it. It's good enough. In the in most worlds, I won't have the armor edges on. I keep them on for this world just so that if I'm ever like on a truly vanilla survival world, I know what they're going to look like. But for the most part, if it's one of my streams, you're not going to see these armor edges anyway, so it'll be fine. So there we go. So that's that. Let's take a blueprint before something catastrophic happens. Blueprint. Anything else we need to do here? Oh, I was going to set up some event controllers. Oh man, if I wanted to turn off a group of the a group of the thrusters we got in the gravity field of the thing. If I wanted to turn off a bunch of the thrusters when we were in space, what would we do? How would we identify which ones from the terminal in order to group them? I really wish that Build Vision had a way to just like select, and then like group from out here, because I would turn off basically everything except these, and I don't want to sit here and rename them all. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it as is then. Just because the event controller, if I use an event controller to turn them on and off based on the oops, I hit the wrong one. I was going to hit that. If I use the event controller based on gravity, I'm trying to do two things at once here. Okay. If I do the event controller based on gravity, then we're looking at the possibility that I accidentally turn them back on at some point, which I don't want to do. Why did I put this that way? Usually I do it that way. I had a reason for this, though. So I'm not going to bother with it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it as is. Let's set an event controller for docking. And maybe I'll set up the toolbar while I'm here, too. Just so I make sure I got everything. Okay. Toolbar. Toolbar first. Alright. Connector. Switch lock. Batteries. Recharge on, off. What else do I need? Thrusters up. Let's put the lights over here. I still need an antenna. All thrusters on, off. Up thrusters on, off. Wait. Yeah, okay, that's lights. Mag plates, switch lock, vents, turn on, off. I'll put adjust your strength on the next bar, because I don't think I'm going to need it much. Decrease. Increase. And then, what else? Oh, here, we could put the O2 gen over here. Actually, I think I'm going to put the vents over here, too. On the second bar. Probably won't need those too much. Oh, I do want turrets. That was the other thing. I want the turrets on, off there, so that we, can turn them off if we don't want to shoot everybody. Or, like, you know, like we're getting close to a wreck or something like that. Antenna. I need an antenna. And maybe I should fit in a, should I fit in a remote control somewhere, just in case? I know we're getting kind of close to the end of the stream here, but, let's see. Grab me the antenna. We won't do the remote control for now. We don't have a compact antenna for... Yeah, we only have parabolic. Oh, parabolic would have been cool to put on here, like on the front or something. Ah, I should have thought of that. That would have been really cool. It actually fits in really well right there, too. Damn. Why didn't I think of that earlier? Oh, man. Okay. Oh, man. I was going to say I could maybe... I would have to take those two little end bits out to make it fit in there. Is it worth it? It's worth it. Oh, that's a good point, Chad. I'll do that. I'll put that on the second bar. Is it worth it to take that out and maybe try to put this right there? Or should I go with just a standard antenna and bury it somewhere like normal? I could, like, just kind of, like, bury it right in one of these spots if you want. Like, all this is hollow underneath here for the most part. If I do the parabolic one, we would have to take out this and this, because it would have to fit right there. But we could put, like, we could put a full block. I'll repaint it in a second. And then this with the battered right there like that. That's how it would have to go. That could be okay. Oh, push it. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down here. Okay, hold on. Let me correct all of this. Let me correct all this. All right, so you're saying... Do I not have any of those? I have them right. Oh, no, these are the wall blocks. I don't have the column. Column. Where are you? There you go. So you're saying do this, basically, and then put the parabolic one on the front of it like that. You know? It's not half bad. not half bad. We could also potentially put the battered color on that too. I like it. I like it. Let's name that, get it in the thing, do the thing that Chad said, and then we're going to call it a day. So, the antenna, we're just going to call it the antenna. And I don't need to see it there. 5 kilometers, let's make it more like 2 kilometers for now. And the HUD text is going to be the Deinonychus. That is good. Alright. Let's put that in here. And then... So I'm going to put... let's see, there's... Okay, target weapons, target propulsion, target systems... Target neutrals. What would I want to actually turn on and off? Target small ships, target characters. Do things like Sabroids and Wolves count as characters? Oh yeah, I was going to do a docking thing. Or do I want to just change the subsystem? Oh, here, cycle sub... Actually, that's what I want. Cycle subsystem. Never mind. I'm good. I'm going to put on off there as well. No, that's fine. That's what I wanted. Cycle. I was thinking I was going to have to put one in for every single thing. Okay. So then the last thing is the event controller for docking. And we're going with... Connector, lock, unlock. This one, select the actions. Alright. So, we want batteries. So, when connected, recharge on, when connected, recharge off. Next. Hydrogen tanks. Stockpile on, stockpile off, just in case. Thrusters, all thrusters off, all thrusters on. Lights off, lights on. Let's turn weapons off. And then turn them on when we undock. Why not? And do I care about the vents? Let's just say when we dock, the vents turn off, but we're not going to turn them on as soon as we undock. You think enable auto would be better to do rather than recharge off? When recharge is off, they should switch to auto. I think these are functionally the same, but I'm good with this. Was there anything else? Oh, let's turn the connector. I'm sorry, not the connector, the antenna. Antenna off, antenna on. And also, let's turn the O2 gen off as well. When I dock, I just kind of want everything to shut down. I don't necessarily need it to turn on. I can manually turn it on if I need it, but this is just like a don't forget to leave it on. So, alright, I think that's good, and I still got 2 slots left. So, we are good. I'm going to back away from the gravity here a bit so I don't fall out. We'll probably delete those other 2 versions of it. I think this turned out really good, you guys. I think this turned out really good. I don't know if those 2 spotlights in the front are really going to do anything, but maybe it would be better to embed some in the bottom. But either way, I think this thing turned out really good as far as a shuttle goes. I still don't know how I actually burned fuel from those hydrogen tanks. since if I turn that back on, they should fill back up, even though there's no. When that turns off, do those bubbles go away? Oh, that's awesome. The bubbles go away when it's off. Oh, that's sweet. Anyway, all right, that's going to do it for us for today. Tomorrow we should actually be doing Elder Scrolls Online. We've been, for various reasons, skipping out on the past couple of weeks. But we should be back to it tomorrow. Hopefully Sunday, Designated Survivors will be the last stream before the big release of the next update. So we will just continue to be working on whatever we've been doing, probably working on that hangar and stuff. I'm probably going to do some pre-work in the room where the farms will be, but it might be a week or two before we're in a position to actually use the update. I am going to turn on all of like the radiation and stuff. I think that'll be cool. Maybe not the solar radiation. I'm gonna have to think about that. Or maybe I'll just put it on like really, really light, like the lightest. But I don't know. Anyway, thanks all for hanging out. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. And I hope to see you again on Sunday. And if not, have a good rest of your week and your weekend. Take care, everybody.